Hi guys, it's Miss Robinson here. I'm coming from my own home today to give you some yoga instruction. Whether you've been a student in the past or you're presently one of my students, I thought we can all come together and share a little yoga, share a little light, take care of ourselves today, and just really be together for this moment. So today's lesson is the difference of emotions and action. So really diving in to that concept. So let's begin. This is how I feel. So just a disclaimer, this is how I feel. There is lots of different views on emotional intelligence and the social sciences that go into it. So if you've been my students before, you know I always drive this point home. So if you have an understanding of your emotions, you're more likely to have control of your actions. So you don't necessarily control your emotions. They're kind of like a wave that come over you, especially with everything going on. So if we can understand what's going on in here and up here, then we're more likely to make good choices in the next week or the next day or this moment. So let's go over that just a little bit. How I gain understanding of my emotions is I use our chart, so we'll insert it here. This chart goes over 30, I think there's about 37 emotions total on that chart, and it always starts with vulnerability. So there's times to be vulnerable, and that's appropriate. So maybe in this moment you're vulnerable with yourself or you're vulnerable with a family member, but so you choose to be vulnerable. I always give this example: if you're on the playground and there's somebody bullying you, that's really not a time to tell them your deepest, darkest secrets. So there's times to be vulnerable and there's times not, and you have to choose and make your best choice then. So I feel comfortable being vulnerable with you right now, and something I'm feeling, I think, is a little sadness about everything that's going on. I really miss my students and I miss being with you guys. It's intensity. If you look over to the side of the graph, the intensity is about a 6 or 7. It's pretty intense. It's not so intense that I'm not getting my job done, but it is intense enough that maybe water comes out of my eyes or my shoulders shrug down. So that's where I'd feel it in my body. I definitely feel a little bit of sadness and sorrow in my eyes, a little bit of lack of clarity in my thoughts, and right now that comes through in my back and shoulders slumping down. So just stop here, pause the video, take a look at the chart, and evaluate how you're doing right now. All right, starting our yoga portion of class. So let's start in a seated position. So you have a lot of choices when it comes to my classes. If you've ever taken a class, you know how big I am to that, into you having control over your body and your choices. So I always start an easy pose, a seated pose, but you can start however you like, if that's in a chair or maybe on your couch. I know not everyone has yoga mats and equipment, but today's practice you could do without yoga mats. So taking a deep breath in, I always love to roll our shoulders, so let's roll our shoulders up, exhale them down. A couple more of those. Big inhale up, exhale them down. We tend to hold stress right here in our neck, and in this stressful time it's so important. So let's do one more with a lot of awareness in our neck. Exhale down. Now keeping our hands on our knees, let's roll our neck. So very intentional, making a diamond shape. We go down, side, back, side. Now coming to center, switching directions. Coming back to center. Big inhale up. Interlock those fingers, coming side to side. Now bringing both of our hands down, mirroring me. This arm goes down, this one comes over. Opening the side body, saying hello. Now let's do another big inhale as we look towards the ceiling. Exhale out. Other side. Inhale up. Exhale. Coming back to neutral. Meeting me on all fours. opening up the spine into those cat-cows. So planting our hands firmly down on the mat, arching our back up, and then arching it down. Matching our breath to movement, so we inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now going side to side. So we move our ears to our hip bones. So imagine those two things could reach. Now tucking the toes, downward dog. So if your hamstrings and calves are tight, you keep your knees bent. Always keeping your hands firmly planted on the ground so that you can see the floor between all of your fingers. And as you tend to open up your legs, you can go a little bit straighter, threading the chest through, coming hands and feet together. So whether that be one big step, little baby steps, or even a jump. Big inhale up, hands to heart center. Standing in mountain pose here, taking a moment just to get some big deep breaths in. So we're gonna inhale for 4, hold it for 4, exhale. Before our next breath, checking in with our feet, seeing if all the corners of the feet are grounded to the floor. Ready? Standing up nice and tall, nice and proud. Big inhale, holding it, exhale. Last one. Big inhale, hold, exhale. Coming into our sunrise exercises, inhale up, exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, high plank, coming to our knees if that feels good, or slowly lowering up into our Sphinx pose, which is forearms on the ground, cobra, shoulders away from the ears, or if you want a little bit more, coming into our up dog pose. Now threading it back, child's pose, feeling the earth beneath us. Tucking the toes, downward dog, pedal it out. Hands and feet together in your favorite way. Big inhale up, hands to heart center. One more of those. Big inhale up, exhale, sweep it away. Hands to the mat, high plank, nice and strong. Tricep push-up, cobra, or your favorite one. I like to stretch out my lower back here. Child's pose. Tucking the toes, downward dog. Hands and feet together. Big inhale up. Hands at heart center. Coming back into that mountain pose one more time. Last one. Big deep breath here. Exhale out. Coming into a little bit of a warrior sequence. Right leg up into a balance. We're going to sweep that right leg back with much intention. Our feet are as wide as fits our body frame. So bringing the front knee in, or bent. If we were bringing the feet together, it'd be heel to arch alignment. So front knee's bent, the core is zippered up, and our arms are out in a T. And our arms are so strong, if I were to come press on your arms, it would be hard for me to press down because you have so much strength and energy running through them. Take a deep breath in. Warrior 2. Hold it here, nice and strong. Ready? Straighten that front leg. Pivot out the hips, and we come into our triangle pose, looking up towards the right hand. Taking a breath in. Back into warrior 2, nice and gentle. Bringing our right arm behind us. Left arm goes up, opening that side body again. Warrior 2. Hands and feet together. Nice and graceful. Good job, bud. Ready? Left leg goes up. Finding your balance. You can always extend your leg if you want a little bit more balance.
Bringing that foot behind us. Heel to arch alignment, just to check in. Front knee is bent. Arms cartwheel out into a T, warrior two. Checking in with our core, bringing energy through our legs so that they almost feel pressed together, but they don't move at all. Big inhale. Straightening the front leg. The right arm goes down along the right leg. Left arm goes up. Take a deep breath here. Coming back into that warrior two. Coming into the reverse warrior. Left arm wraps behind or follows the leg. Reversing it. Coming back into the warrior two last time with much intention, bringing hands and feet together. Big inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up all the way. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, straighten the spine, all the way down. Holding it here, grabbing our elbows and making a figure eight. Opening up the back. Slowly coming on up. Rolling those shoulders. One more time, just like that. Big inhale up. Exhale, fold. Halfway, all the way down. Grabbing our elbows. Bending our knees, hands to the mat, high plank. Slowly lowering into that push-up pose. Cobra. Child's pose. Coming to our seated position, you can either lay down or sit up or finding your favorite spot in your home. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling out. Sitting up straight and tall. Eyes gently close. Bringing the hands to the knees for grounding to the earth, safety and security. We can bring the hands up for clarity in our thoughts and actions. Taking a deep breath in. Coming back to that emotion we felt earlier, without judgment or fear, knowing that during this time our emotions are completely normal and accepted. Fully understanding that our job is to accept those emotions and make the best decisions we can, even if those emotions are flooding over us. Taking a few more seconds just to sit with how we're feeling today, with our thoughts, with our emotions. Noticing how our legs feel against the ground. Releasing our forehead, our jaw, our shoulders. Holding those emotions close to our heart center, knowing that they're necessary, but we can do what we will with them, with no judgment, just accepting. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling out. Wiggling the fingers and toes, opening the eyes. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I'll be releasing these videos more often as just little snippets that you can add into your schedules during this time that we're home. I just wanted to send one last thought for all my students, how much all of your teachers care about you right now, and that we're all here for you, and we definitely miss you, and I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you. Bye.